folks. So the United States economy is in huge trouble. Since the beginning of 2025, these states have told the general government that they are in financial distress. So these are states that are in financial distress and leering towards bankruptcy. They are Texas, Louisiana, Nevada, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, Oklahoma, Connecticut, and New Jersey. Folks, Donald Trump is doing his best to control the media. You're not hearing about this because he's doing his best to control the media. These states are in financial distress. They are currently relying heavily on federal aid to get through. Things are not looking good for the United States of America.
I'm predicting 40,000 business bankruptcies by the 4th of July. So 2 months now I've been telling you why the U.S. economy is cooked, and there's lots of reasons for it. It's not just the tariffs. The tariffs, of course, are the largest nail in the coffin. But, we've known, economists and historians have known for the longest time that if you make drastic changes in your economy and make introduce something like tariffs across the board, particularly against your largest trading partners, Canada, China, and Mexico, that it's going to have drastic consequences. And the drastic consequences are going to be to make costs for all of those businesses that are trying to function in the U.S. right now go up dramatically. Now think of the small business in the U.S. that's an importer and a reseller of something that comes from China. They're importing something that's not made in the U.S. They might be importing just a part of something that they put together, that they manufacture, and part of the product is made in the U.S. It's made in China rather. And now they're looking at it and they're saying, well, I'm a small business. I employ 4 people. I've got a shipping container full of this stuff. The tariffs on it are in excess of 104%. I can't afford to pay it. I can't continue to run my business. My clients are not going to pay it. I can up my price on my website. I can let my clients know, my customers know that this is what the price is now, but I know they're not going to pay it. And so what happens? What happens at that point? Well, this is April now, but May comes along and you're in a similar situation. You didn't get those products. The U.S. government seized them, and now it's going to end up going to auction in 6 months or something like that. You don't order anymore. If you're going to order something, you just stop ordering it. Yeah, it hurts the business in China, but they've got clients all around the world, so it's they will continue to survive. But you, as an American business, are in a situation where you've got debts, you've got money that you've got to pay each month, and you can't make those payments. You borrowed money to get your business running. You borrowed money to keep your business running. You've got a line of credit and things like that. So this is April now. By May, June, we're going to start to see a lot of businesses filing for bankruptcy, and then we'll see personal bankruptcies too. But think of all the people who are going to get laid off in all of those different businesses. And it's a cascading effect, right? Because you've got somebody laid off at a business, 3-5 people laid off at a business. Those people, can't make their payment on their house now. Maybe their spouse is in a similar situation. They get laid off. They can't afford to spend. They're not going out to the restaurant. The restaurant lays off the server after a little while. The restaurant's not making enough money, so they end up shuttering as well, because of course their costs have gone up and nobody can afford it because the wages haven't gone up. Wages, always trail inflation when you've got hyperinflation, which is what we're facing with this massive tax increase on the Americans as a result of the tariffs. Excuse me, when you've got that, people just can't afford to buy things. The money loses value and wages don't keep up with it. Hyperinflation, wages do not keep up with it. Wages have not kept up with inflation, with our high inflation that we've had since the beginning of COVID. So as a consequence, you're thinking of those businesses, and what are they importing, right? They're importing things that they need. Maybe they put things together. When it arrives, you need one component or 2 components that you can't get from anywhere else. They're made in China. It's an electronic part, or it's some piece of plastic that only is made in China. And you can't, you can let your clients, your customers know that you're going to pay more, but your customers are going to be looking at it and they're going to say, well, we're not going to do it. And here's a good example. Microsoft has canceled a $1 billion project in Ohio that they intended to do when when Biden was president. It's 3 data centers, and they just announced that they're not going to do it. And why are they not going to do it? Well, you can think of reasons, right? When it comes to data, it crosses the border. It's cloud storage is basically what they were building. Why would you need to build it in Ohio? Well, there were incentives, A. But B, you could get all the stuff. You could buy all the stuff to import it there, to build it. What does it take to build those data centers? It takes building supplies from Mexico and Canada and China. It takes electronics manufactured in China. All of those things have gone up such that, a $1 billion project would probably be a $3 billion project. And you can do that same project in Canada for the same price you were going to do it before if you really felt that was something that you needed to do. You could build it in Australia. You can build it in Mexico. You can build it anywhere. Probably smarter to build it somewhere where you don't have to air condition quite so much. So Manitoba might benefit from Microsoft, from Ohio's lost Microsoft moving, because we're not going to have those tariffs. But the point is that, this is just one thing, right? That's just one thing. But there are thousands and thousands of businesses in the U.S., and everybody's going to be facing the same situation because it's going to unfold through the economy. You're a business and you hire somebody, local who does your website, and, your business shuts down. That's one client that's gone for that company that makes the website or does the marketing. The local restaurants around those businesses that are there, they end up shutting down too because they're missing just enough customers that, their margins were already tight. And food prices are going to go up, and costs of everything else going up is going to lead to this cascading effect. Now, even if Trump was to cancel all the tariffs right now, we would still end up in a significant recession because of all of the other things that I've laid out in those previous videos. But the tariffs are the gigantic nail in the coffin for the U.S. economy, and it's going to put the entire global economy into a period of recession. All of those retirees who are counting on their 401ks thinking, okay, well, a stable economy, there's always ups and downs, and there's, we have sometimes anomalies and sometimes stupid things like the subprime mortgage crisis. But still, long term, looking pretty good. Not any longer, right? You've already lost a quarter of your wealth. If you had $4 million in the bank because you were invested in the stock market because you were relatively affluent, now you're down to $3.5 million, and it's probably going to end up being $2 million by the time you're done, maybe less. And if that's all you've got, well, when prices double, that's not going to necessarily get you through, and get you through from age 60 when you've, luckily done very well for yourself. Normally that would have been great, but when prices double on everything, and they're going to double, prices are going to double on things in the U.S. When prices double on things, and there's no workaround, there's no way to get around it, and there's also no work for people. They're all being laid off. That puts you in a very perilous position. Now, that is the lucky few who had some money invested. Think of all the other people who are on fixed incomes or struggling, working, just trying to scrape by. We're going to see hundreds of thousands of personal bankruptcies. But as I say, I think we will see, from the start of the year to the 4th of July to Independence Day, there will be 40,000 people, 40,000 businesses that are independent of operating because they've gone bankrupt. And give it 2 more months after that, by the end of summer, probably 100,000.
All right, Sean.